You say hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Who's that? That wasn't you talking. Must be your sissy. Come here. Come here. Come here, little mouse. Come here. Yes. Welcome to Crochet and Mental Health. This will be the first episode. I do have a introduction video that I've already dropped. So if you're interested in seeing what got me to this place, you're welcome to go check out that video. I'll have it linked down below in the description box. Today, we're going to be talking about mindfulness, crochet and mindfulness. Before I get started, I just want to say a few things. 1, I am not a psychotherapist. 2, this video and subsequent videos may bring up some strong emotions, some strong feelings. 3, if these are really strong, uncomfortable feelings for you, difficult to get through, then please contact a professional to help you through them. Number 4, keeping that in mind, I would really love to hear from you guys, how you're doing, what your progress is, what your experience has been. I would love to hear that in the comments, or even if you'd rather send me an email, that's in the description box as well as my email address, or on our Facebook group. If you haven't already joined, go and join KrisLovesCrochet group. I will link that down in the description box as well. As I mentioned before, in the first few episodes of this Crochet and Mental Health, I'm going to be using this book as kind of a guide. It's also something that can be a nice resource for you to have, if you'd like, to kind of follow along, get a little bit more in depth, because we're just doing an exercise, maybe 2 out of each one of the 10 chapters. But there are several exercises and lots of thoughts that the author, Kathryn Vercillo, has included in this that I think could be very helpful to you. According to the book, there are 3 tools that you will need for this section of our journey. And I've added a 4th one of my own. So the first 3 that Kathryn says that you need, and I wholeheartedly agree. 1 is a crochet journal. This is different than the one I had originally shown in a previous video, because I needed something that was to look at, resonated calm with me. So I'm using this one for this Crochet and Mental Health. Now, in the journal, you can use for several things. 1, we're going to be doing a feelings wheel that I have linked down below as well, to just look on the feelings wheel before we start, and then again when you're done with the exercise, and jot down in your crochet journal how you're feeling before we start and then when you finish. Not to necessarily mark progress, although that'll be nice to see, but really I think it's very useful to stop, to get used to stopping and looking inward and seeing how you're really feeling. I run out of words. There are a few words that are my go-to words: happy, sad, frustrated, anxious. This gives me more words to use, to be more specific about how I'm feeling, so that I can be, maybe I'm mad. Well, but maybe I'm not really mad. I'm a little frustrated. I don't want to say that I'm mad. I don't want to label it incorrectly. And that gives me more tools throughout the day to identify what I'm feeling. And I think that's a useful thing to do, is to be able to identify how we're feeling. The feelings wheel, you can write about the challenges that you come across, either with us on this journey or through your own crochet projects. What are your challenges? And then celebrate your crochet joys and successes. Also, don't just write about your challenges. That's one feeling. There's another feeling when you get something, whether it's the planning, design portion of it, or it's some yarn that made you really happy, or when you get through the project, that feeling of joy, happiness, of success, of satisfaction. Those are feelings too that I think it's really important for me to identify and write them down. So information also about the projects that you're planning or that you are working on. You can use this journal for that. Write down the name of the project, what size hook you're using, what kind of yarn you're using, who it's for, that sort of thing. Also, I'll mention future ideas. You could be jotting down just in another section of the journal, just all kinds of ideas, whether or not you think you can do it. That's not the thing. What would you like to do? What would you like to do in your crochet art? And then also, Kathryn said, and I never really thought about this, it would be fun to jot down some crochet stories from within your family lineage. People in your family who maybe have crocheted or knitted some kind of yarn craft that maybe you didn't know about. Maybe you can ask some questions about people in the family that maybe they did before all the time and you didn't know about it. So that could be something that you include in your journal, is a little bit of family tree, crochet family tree, or yarny family tree. Let's say that. The second tool that you will need is mindfulness. And this is something that I think that you should use daily. And mindfulness, according to the Mayo Clinic definition, is a type of meditation in which you focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interpretation or judgment. So even though that's going to be our first activity today, it's something that hopefully you'll get back to using every day. And so that's why it's also listed as a tool to bring into these activities every day. The third tool, according to Kathryn, is your creative commitment. I really kind of went back and forth about whether or not I wanted to include this because I don't want to seem pushy. I don't want to add any stress to you. But I also know that if this is something that you want to work on, that it's going to take a commitment. Some days you're not going to feel like it. And if you've committed to it, then hopefully it's something that we can do and feel better about when it's done, right? So you can write your own creative commitment. I can share with you what I have come up with. Some of it comes from what she wrote as an example, and some of it was mine. But I commit to the work of discovering, expanding, and celebrating my creativity and ability in crochet. I commit to prioritize this work. I commit to be kind to myself. I commit to accept mistakes as an opportunity for growth. Now, I know people say, don't look at it as a mistake. Look at it as an opportunity for growth. Don't look at it as a challenge or something. Look at it as an opportunity. Blah, blah, blah. In something like art, which crochet is an art, this is where we can practice doing that. To see something as a mistake, or you didn't quite understand the directions, the pattern, and you came up with something totally different. It may be something that you frog back. You probably will. If you're following a pattern, you frog out of it so that you can do it correctly once you notice it. Or you find a way around and fudge it. Or sometimes you think, I like my way better, so I'm going to stick with this. Or, okay, that's not really good for this project, but I like how that looks. I'm going to write a little note over here so I can use it at another time. Art is always an exploration, and we have to go down these roads that we don't know already to explore, to find new things, to help us to express ourselves through our art, which for us is crochet. The fourth tool that I added, which I've already talked about, is the feelings wheel. So I do have that linked below in the description, and you can download it, you can print it off if you want, or just have it in your library, digital library, so that whenever you start doing something with your crochet journal, you can just look at it, pick out how you're feeling, jot it down. When you're done, when you're putting your things away, try to remember to look at it again and just jot down your feelings. Don't look at it, like I said, as some sort of a continuum, like you're making this progress. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be true to yourself, and find the word that describes how you're feeling at that time. And if you want to jot down a little bit of why, that's great. If you don't want to go into that, that's fine. Write out a word. That's cool. Week 1, mindfulness crochet. According to Kathryn in Hook to Heal, her definition of mindfulness is the act of focusing non-judgmentally on what is happening in the present moment, both internally and externally. And before we start, I just want to go through a really short breathing exercise. You can join with me. You can jot it down to do it later. Nobody's watching you. Well, I'm not watching you. So you can do it now or do it later, whatever. I just find it a nice way of getting in tune with where I am presently. Sometimes I don't have a lot of calmness to start with, and so I start my breathing with a short, just 5 seconds, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of breathing in and then breathing out. 5 seconds, breathe in, breathe out. 6, in, out. 7, in and out. 8, in and out. 9, in and out. And finally 10 and out. There. How do you feel? I hope you feel good and centered. Our first activity only requires, most of our stuff will, a crochet hook and yarn. Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you got, some scraps. All you need is scraps for this one. And your favorite crochet hook, one that's very comfortable for you. What we're going to do is called chain 10 or chain of 10. 10 loop chain. It's called a 10 loop chain. So this is what Kathryn had written in her book. Select a crochet hook and yarn that are both easy to work with. Sit still with your work in your lap. All that you're going to be doing is making a long crochet chain. You will slowly work each loop of the chain, counting each loop as you make it. Focus all of your attention on making one loop at a time and not allowing any other thoughts to creep in. Every time that you notice a thought, frog the chain and start over. So, for example, you will start your chain, 1 loop, 2 loops. I'm so annoyed that my check hasn't gotten direct deposited yet. I really need to go to the bank. Oops, I'm thinking better start over. Frog, restart the chain. 1 loop, 2 loops, 3 loops. I really like this yarn, but it seems like such a waste to be using it for a mindfulness exercise. Damn, I'm thinking again. Frog and start over. Yeah, even thinking about the yarn, or the hook, or what you got going for dinner, or whatever. Try to continue this exercise until you have successfully focused on the loops at hand and let all other thoughts pass to the length of a 10 loop chain. When you are first learning mindfulness, you may only be able to achieve a chain length of 5 or 6. That's okay. Cut yourself some slack. Mindfulness isn't easy. This is the most basic mindfulness crochet exercise and one that you can come back to again and again. What I would suggest is that you pause the video and you come back to it once you have successfully completed the 10 chains. or as far as you think you're going to get today. Don't fret it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Do the best that you can. We're a work in progress every day. So here's mine. I'm not going to be able to do it without thinking. I'll tell you that right now because there's a camera on me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, there's a thought. I'll only do that once. Okay, here we go. No, I'm not telling you my thought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll do that one more time. So if you want to just think about hearing my voice and doing it this time, do that. Then pause and do it without my voice, with just your own brain and everything else shut off. Peace and quiet. Peace and quiet. And keep your focus on the here and now and the chain. Only the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How'd you do? If you need to pause and try it a few times, I would suggest you do that. Even if you got through it the first time, I would suggest that you pause anyway. Pause this video, shut everything down, in the quiet, see if you can do it. And we're back. Did you do it? You can do it later. It's okay. This is a great exercise to try with any stitch. Really, you can just think about the stitch itself. So if you are doing a pattern or you're doing your own design and you're going back and forth or round and round, square, circles, whatever, think about a section where you have like 10 repeat stitches and just say, okay, this is my past. This is where I'm going to be mindful. And when you get to those 10 stitches, single crochet, double crochet, herringbone, whatever, your star stitch, whatever you're doing, for the 10 stitches that you're repeating, just think about the stitch. Try to quiet everything else. And just, once during a round or once during a row, if you can't get through those 10, frog it back and do it again. So this will get you used to frogging, which is not a bad thing. Frogs are cute, right? And also it will help you to train your mind. If you do this regularly, if you just find a patch of 10, something, and just focus for that long on the here and now. Don't let any other thoughts come into your mind. It's amazing. Some of the things that this can help you with: it can reduce rumination. Rumination are thoughts that just keep going over and over and over, and they don't have anything to do with the here and now. It's either something past or something coming up that you don't feel great about, and you're ruminating on it. And that's a thought that's not in the here and now. So if you come up with this skill, if you notice yourself ruminating about something, you're getting stuck on a thought, practice this. It doesn't even have to be a crochet stitch. It can be cars passing by or whatever you decide to do. Can help you to enjoy daily small pleasures by being in the here and now. Handle difficult events and experiences by staying in the here and now. What makes experiences and events difficult for me is the fear that goes along with it. And that fear is not in the here and now. That fear is over on the other side. It's something I wonder how people are going to react to me, going to judge me, going to whatever. That's not in the moment. So if you learn how to Be mindful in the moment, in the here and now. It will help you get through those difficult events and situations. It can also reduce impact of chronic pain conditions. Luckily, I don't suffer with that, so I don't know. Let me know if you think that that's a bunch of baloney or you think that could help. Problems with insomnia. Again, the ruminating keeps me up at night sometimes. And it's a skill to be able to click into the here and now, being mindful. You know, I think they had something back in the day when they said count sheep until you fall asleep. You're counting sheep. You're not thinking about anything else. Can strengthen your immune system. Enhances your working memory and cognitive flexibility. Can make you smarter. Yay. Makes you more appreciative and more satisfied with life. And it's a stress relief. Because if you can let go of all of the other things out there, it's not in your here and now. Yes, it is. It's in my here and now. My kids are driving me crazy. Well, right now, it's quiet. It is the here and now. I've got to go to work tomorrow. And I hate my job. I don't want to do that. I have to do that. So I have to think about no. You don't have to think about it. Here and now. Don't waste this time because of that time. This time is just as important and valuable. Grab it. Enjoy it. Recognize it. And finally, it will increase self-compassion. You see how all of those things come together into feelings of self-worth. You get rid of all that other crap that has a lot to do with other people and other things and other events and all of that. Just come to here and now. Here and now. You're a beautiful person. Enjoy yourself. That is what I have for you this week in crochet and mental health. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something from it. And I hope that when this video is over, you pause, don't go on to the next video just yet, and spend a few minutes being mindful in your crochet. Until next time, be true, be kind, and find your joy. I love you guys. Bye.